Hello, this is Lord Titus here, and today I'm going to make a video about the most powerful Doom stack it is possible to create in Total War Warhammer 2. Now, as anyone who plays the game on highest difficulty, or more realistically watches Legend of Total War play the game on highest difficulty is aware, a Doom stack is a stack of extremely powerful units that, in a single army, tends to be capable of taking on and defeating multiple enemy armies in a single turn. Now, as someone who plays on Legendary quite often, I have encountered and tried out quite a few Doom stacks, one of the most preeminent being the Lizardmen Stegodon Doom stack. I, however, did not feel satisfied with the power present in such a Doom stack and sought to take it a step further. And as a result, I have set out to create the single most powerful stack it is possible to create in the game. Now, I think it should be stressed before we get any further, this is not actually a good stack because it requires an enormous amount of money, time, and resources to put together and create. But here we go, this is the first of hopefully 2 videos, and as you can see from the screen, I'm playing as the Cult of Sotek. Now, why am I playing as Cult of Sotek? Well, there are several reasons. First and foremost is their power tree up here, so base plus 10% physical resistance for all units that I possess. So this is always an extremely useful tool, and when creating a Doom stack like this 10% physical resistance is just superb. It's always very, very helpful. Beyond that, as you can see from the graphic floating here, I'm using Lord Mazdamundi as the Lord of this army, and he possesses, as you can see from the red glow, he possesses the Sword of Cain. Sword of Cain will be appearing in both of my Doom stacks. I do not particularly recommend picking it up in normal gameplay, but for the purposes of creating the ultimate stack, it's a must include, really. But anyway, so, as you can see from the stack below, it's a full hero stack, including Lord Croak. There are 3 skink chiefs, so skink priests, all of heavens. There are 2 Saurus Scar veterans, and then there are 13 skink chiefs. So I'm going to go through each of them and sort of explain why I've chosen to use them and what their equipment is and how it all works. So as a general whole army-wide thing, there are 3 things I want to cover off first. Firstly, if you see here, this whole army only is costing me 1,059 gold a turn. Lizard men tend to have quite a large problem with how expensive their armies are, and this is one of the reasons that I've chosen to play as the Cult of Sotek. I'll be showing you the item when I go through each of the units, but there is a follower that can be acquired using the Cult of Sotek's special sacrifice tree that reduces upkeep of all units in the army by 20%, which obviously is superbly helpful in any game and is very useful when making a Doom stack such as this. The second thing is this. So here we have the Winds of Magic. Now, as you can see, there are a huge number of bonuses here. So there's plus 346 in total on top of the base power and other. So these are from a combination of knowledgeable characters and special items followers called Zote Servants, which increase Winds of Magic power reserve. Again, I'll go through them when I go through all the skills and equipment present in this army. The units in this army. Firstly, we have Lord Mazdamundi. So let's take a quick look at him. So, he is equipped with the Glittering Scales, the Dominating Sword of Cain, Talisman of Preservation, the Other Trickster's Shard, Channeling Staff, he's mounted on Zlak, and he has a full set of Totem Poles of Destiny. So, why is he equipped this way? He has an extremely high ward save, 82%, as well as 20% physical resistance and 55% magic resistance. This is from a combination of the army as a whole, as well as Talisman of Preservation and the Sword of Cain. Glittering Scales I've chosen over the Armour of Destiny because he doesn't need any additional ward save, and the -5 melee attack is always very helpful. Sword of Cain needs no introduction. Talisman of Preservation for that sweet 17% ward save. Other Trickster's Shard. The main way that Mazdamundi will be dishing out the damage is through magical firepower. and so reduced magic resistance for all enemies around you is always very helpful. Channeling Staff, again, his main way of dishing out damage will be through magic and bound spells, so reduced cooldown to spells and reduced ability recharge is always extremely nice. The reason I've chosen Mazdamundi over a Life Slan is partially because of Zlak, which just makes him significantly tougher. 150 armour on a Slan, it's always very nice. As you can see, thanks to the Sword of Cain and Zlak, he's got pretty decent melee attack at 67. Melee defense leaves something to be desired, but with 150 armour and a 90% effective ward save, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. So, let's look at the skills quickly. So, many people who've played as Mazdamundi will be rather confused by this skill tree, and I don't blame you, but let's go through it. So, obviously, Zlak's unlocked. Bonus Winds of Power magic with reserves are always nice. Enemy reduced Winds of Magic, also very good. Focus of Mysteries, always a fantastic ability to unlock with any Slan. Banishment's very nice. Ruination of Cities, I have a hard time using this well, but extra magical firepower is always a good thing. Spells wise, as you can see, I've fully unlocked his, well, almost fully unlocked his tree. Not really bothered with Exorcism because it won't be particularly relevant, but anyway. Main key parts here are Apotheosis, Net of Amentok, and Comet of Cassandora. So, Comet of Cassandora for magical firepower, Net of Amentok for holding everyone in place, so I can summon a Comet of Cassandora on top of them, and Apotheosis for healing the other units in the army. Now, normally I would choose a Life Slan to lead my army, but in this particular stack, it's not necessary to have maximum amount of regeneration power. Apotheosis is perfectly adequate and costs so little magic you can just spam it. Now, bits that are probably confusing people. Why have I not bought any of his magic resistance and physical resistance anywhere around here? Well, quite simply because I don't need to. I don't need the magic or physical resistance because, as mentioned, he already basically has maxed out his ward save. I don't need miscast base chance reduction because it quite frankly doesn't matter. And I don't need regeneration. Now, why don't I need regeneration? Well, I don't need regeneration as a skill because I have regeneration as a trait thanks to killing Isabella von Carstein. So, don't need regeneration as a skill because two sets of the same ability do not stack. So regeneration coupled with regeneration will only result in a single regeneration, which is just not really worth it. So, besides that, the reason that this is coming out now rather than before the Greenskin update is because of a new skill that was added, Dragon Slayer, 25% fire resistance. Now you might be thinking, why are you bothering about fire resistance? It's pretty useless by and large. And you'll be right, except regeneration also gives a 25% weakness to fire. And as a result, 25% fire resistance, 25% fire weakness cancel each other out, so I get my full ward save against everything. Other than that, as you can see, quite a nice set of abilities and skills. Bonus weapon strength for everyone in the army, bonus magic resistance for everyone in the army. Yes, it's all fairly standard traits. Pain to get, but very useful if you get to the right set of them. Last thing I want to cover off is the Totem Poles of Destiny here. These are also Cult of Sotic exclusive. They're only available by the Sacrifices tree. 25% ward save for the assigned unit, which is just mental. So yes, so it should be fairly obvious why he has these, and yeah, so that's Mazdamundi. Next thing is going to be Lord Croak. Now, I ummed and ahed about having Lord Croak. If I didn't have Lord Croak in this army, I'd just have another Skink Chief. Skink Witch. Yes. Skink Priest, that's the word. And why do I have Lord Croak? Well, two main reasons. Firstly, Ceremonial Mace of Malachite. 15% magic resistance for all units. Just really, really good. There's no way around that. It's just a really, really good item. Glyph of Potek, 5% ward save for my lord, so that's one of the reasons Mazdamundi's got a nice 82% base ward save, it's that. And Golden Death Mask, -9 melee attack for all units around him, for enemy units around him, which is good when he's in the middle of a blob of Skink Chiefs. Ixie Grubs for reducing the cooldown to all spells, which is again very fortunate because his main role in this is just to be magical artillery. Followers and banners is the key thing to look at on this screen, however. So, Prophet Sworn Brother, +5 leadership in the army, or extra leadership is always nice. I'm not even going to try and pronounce these, but this one, bonus post-battle loot and stealing magic items, always good. Obsidian Miner Skink is just it's a really, really good follower that you can only get from the Cult of Sotek Sacrifices tree, reducing building costs for all buildings in all of your provinces. It's just lovely. The aforementioned Zote Servants for that sweet bonus power reserve, as well as more bonus chance of stealing magic item. Artifact Hunter for, again, bonus chances of acquiring magic items. And this is the one, Lock and Bottle Spawn Brother, reduced upkeep for all units in the army. Just sweet. It's such a good follower. Makes by itself, between this and Obsidian Miner Skink and the Totem Pole of Destiny, as I showed on Mazdamundi, it's these three that make Cult of Sotek by far the best Lizardman faction. Skills-wise, he has enough skill points to unlock all of his skills, so I unlocked all of his skills. Supreme Shield of the Old Ones, always very good. Deliverance of Itza, always very nice, especially when coupled with Shield of Safari and another Greater Arcane Conduit. Healing is... regeneration is there for him, so that's nice. And yeah, so he's good. And the other key thing is... where is it? Greater Ward of the Old Ones, bonus 5% ward save for all units in the army. Oh, that's always very, very nice, and for making a stack like this just means that Croak is a good inclusion. Next, we have the Scar Veterans. So, one of these has the Sword of Anti-Heroes, the other one has the Blade of Realities. Armour of Destiny, Talisman of Preservation, Potion of Healing. Fairly standard stuff when making a tanky fighter. This in total brings their ward save up to 62% when combined with the Totem Pole of Destiny. As you can see, very nice combat stats, 60 melee attack, 52 melee defense, high speed, high leadership, good armor, high weapon strength. Mounted on Carnosaurs, same follower loadout as Croak, and same as the Skink Priests as well. Skills-wise, as you can see, I've mostly ignored these bits of the blue skills and just gone strict for Carnosaur, and have Immortality, Honoured Elder is always very nice, that bonus ward save, and just maxed out the combat stats, including the bonus leadership bit. So that's same skill loadout for both of the Sora Scar Veterans. And then we have the Skink Chiefs. Now in truth, these guys are probably the main damage dealers of the army, thanks to magical artillery. So we have Armour of Destiny, Talisman of Preservation. I chose not to give these guys the Potion of Healing, because in general they shouldn't be engaged in close combat too much, so I gave them the Divine Plaque of Protection instead, for bonus ward save and missile resistance. Scroll of Black Horror, the other two have Scroll of Assault of Stone, just for more basic magical firepower. Masamuni's Pride, again, just more inherent firepower. Bound Spell Wind Blast is always very nice. Ancient Stegodon, Engine of the Gods. Also a lovely, lovely, lovely mount. Okay, so, and now you see, and as I'm sure you saw with the Sword of Scar Veteran, Pompous. This is the key trait, and this is what makes this army literally invincible. Every single non-unique unit in this army has the Pompous trait, and as a result, the enemy will suffer minus 72% minus 72 leadership at the very start of the battle, which when combined with the fact that all of these guys are riding on monsters, generally enough to, and using artillery, is generally enough to instant break most enemy forces. Skills-wise, as you can see, I've maxed out the Magic Tree, Arcane Conduit, Ancient Stegodon of the Gods, all the protections, Arcane Vassal, for again, just more magical firepower, Immortality, and Scouting for more magic item drop chances. So yeah, if you're wondering why I've been able to get so many rare items, it's a combination of, for some reason, they're just being a bit of a magic item shower at the moment, and maximising my armies for stealing the maximum number of magic items between those and skills over here. Okay, and last but not least, we have the Skink Chief. So we have what I call the Doom Slayers and the Doom Knights. So the Doom Slayers are set up for range. So they have double barrel as their magic weapon. The Doom Knights have melee weapons, usually the Tormentor Sword, Warrior Bane, or the Brass Cleaver. And the Doom Knights are equipped with healing potions, whereas the Doom Slayers are equipped with Iron Curse icons and the like. Again, Zote's Servant and Manspawn Sacrifice, just to be nice. And so that's the setup of the Doomslayer and Doom Knights. So again, Pompous is the key part here, and they're all mounted on Stegodons, which is very nice. Okay. And then so now I think the best thing to do next is to demonstrate. So I'm probably not going to fight this battle, both to save time and to save my computer's poor overworked processor, but I don't think I'll need to, because I suspect that the auto-resolve will be quite heavily in my favour. As you can see, even the auto-resolve was thoroughly happy about my victory there, and here sort of highlights one of the weaknesses of this stack. Because Pompous completely breaks their leadership before we even go into battle, it doesn't tend to do I don't tend to do a huge amount of damage actually to the army itself. So if you want to eliminate armies, this is not a great army for it, but if you just want to win battles, there are very few armies better. So, having done that, hopefully I'll be able to show you a quick demonstration of the army actually in battle against this other army that's just sitting there, just waiting for a whooping. So, when we get past the loading screen... There we go, lovely, new item. So here we go. We've got quite a good army, plenty of Black Orcs. But I mean, as you can see, their leadership is just non-existent at the moment. It's just been crippled. And and Black Orcs are relatively high leadership units for this roster. Against Dwarves, you will have more of a problem, because even with a huge, hefty loss to their leadership, they do tend to still be relatively courageous, but even then, a few artillery shots will very quickly send them packing. So, here we are. I'll fight this battle so we can actually have a look at the army in the field in progress. So low leadership across the board for them. I'm fully prepared. Very few of my units have even been injured. So, let's get going. So, here we have the general army layout. So, what we're going to do, we're going to have Mazdamundi up at the front, because I suspect he'll be more than capable of winning this on his lonesome. We'll have the Saurus Warriors on the side. We'll have the Doom Slayers forming one rear line. We'll have the Doom Knights forming the front line. Lord Croak can sit in with them, and the 3 Skink Priests can stand there. Okay. So, I'm just going to try and see how much of this I can just do with Mazdamundi, and hopefully you'll just see their leadership disintegrating as I come at them. So, let's begin. So, first thing first, bit of healing for him, and then Banzai. So, as you can see I've cast, which means that Shield of Sapphire is activated, which is going to boost my ward saves nicely across the board. And I'll drop down this with Lord Croak to give a nice extra bit of shielding. And I'll whip that one off quickly, so we can see the maximum amount of ward save you can get. So these are just regular Skink Chiefs with no real upgrades any further beyond just the magic items, and then at 87 ward save when casting abilities or using the power of Lord Croak's Shield of the Old Ones. Just drop a Sword of Cain's power down that, and I mean you can just see their leadership just ceasing to exist essentially. I'll just you want them on. So the main advantage that has always been the case with Lizardmen stacks is that you get the artillery as well as the monster. And obviously artillery inflicts leadership penalties, so in an army that's already on very low leadership inherently, extra leadership penalties just wreck them. So, there we go. It's going very nicely, I think, overall. Yeah, so, I mean, you can just see even Boar Boy Biggins and things that would normally be quite a threat, actually, to Sora Scar veterans are just breaking and running with no chance to fight here. And the thing is that this army, the way that this enemy army is dealing with this at the moment, will be the same for any number of enemy armies in a single turn. If you have to fight off against 6, 8, 10, 20 armies in a single turn, you will likely still win, just because as soon as you get close to them, they break, and once they break 3 times, that's game over for them. So, yeah, I mean, you can just see. Just wrecking everyone. But you can also see why even the auto-resolve lets so many get away, just because there's just don't really have the capacity to properly kill them before they can run away. They break too quickly, which is why the magical artillery is important, because if you can get them in a town or a city, for example, and can just drop magical artillery on their heads, you'll get lots more kills and lots more damage through than you will ever get this way. So yeah, I mean, that was a nice quick victory, really. There's no real challenge here. And yeah, and as you can see, plenty of Winds of Power magic reserved, especially when you just drop the arcane conduits here. But yeah, so between Mazda Mundi and Lord Crow, there's 2 arcane conduits in this army, and then 2 greater arcane conduits in this army, and then 3 regular arcane conduits. So you get insane things like this. Because I've dropped a lot of magic already, and it just didn't matter. So what we do then, we just drop the health potions, and then we move on. So, there's the demonstration of the army in action, and because I was attacking a city, all the enemy forces will die, even though I was unable to properly wipe them out in this battle. Yeah, I mean, look, even none of their units were really able to get much play there. They came in, broke, and ran away again immediately. So yes, as you can see, this is the advantage of attacking them in a town. You do subsequently wipe them all out, and as you can see from that, you get quite a large amount of money and plenty of sacrifices in this sort of victory. So that's really the key sort of battles you want to be fighting, are attacking a town. And because of the power of this army, it doesn't matter whether it's a walled town or not. So, always loot and occupy. Okay. So, as you can see, really pretty much an unstoppable army. 2 main drawbacks to this army. The first, it is incredibly vulnerable to enemy agent actions. Because this entire army is obviously made up of agents, assassination and wound attempts are very effective. And although I have quite a few buffs against that happening, such as Marathi's trait and the blue skill tree trait here. Where are we? So yes, and then we've got Wary to reduce enemy hero action success chance. It ultimately doesn't actually matter, because it's just eventually they will succeed. So that's one key thing to bear in mind, and that's why I believe the Cult of Sotek is superior to, for example, Spirits of the Jungle, who could potentially, with quite dramatic bits of work, potentially get the same army. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please drop a comment and a like. And I should hopefully have a new video uploaded, which will talk about the second most powerful stack, in my opinion, which will feature Isabella von Karstein and the Vampire Counts. So, yes, anyway, that's that for today. So, signing off.